open up the chart. Just like that. Right? Should I use black? I think I should use black, yeah. Let's just open up the chart and maybe this pair will say it's H4. Okay, see H4 right there. It say H4, maybe Euro USD. H4 Euro USD, right? Sure, yeah. Do you get it? Okay. My concern is, are you guys able to read it? Okay, but it's fine. I'm sure y'all can. So H4 Euro USD. The first thing as a technical trader is to understand time frames. Time frames. So what is a time frame? Time frame, obviously, time frame, it easily just means that every candlestick is built based on time frame, you know? When I say 4-hour time frame, it means when a candlestick is built, it will take 4 hours to open and close. What is a candlestick? If you don't know what's a candlestick and you're a beginner, a candlestick is that thing you find in your MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. It looks like this. It's more like a candle in the house. You know the candles that you used to pray in the house? Those ones. But it looks something like this. This is what we call a candlestick. You know? So if you don't know what a candlestick is, what we call a candlestick. If we trade on a 4-hour time frame, it takes 4 hours to open and close a candlestick. If you trade on a 1-hour time frame, it takes an hour to open and close a candlestick. 15 minutes, it takes 15 minutes to open and close a candlestick. A day, it takes a day to open and close a candlestick. Pretty much, that's quite simple to understand. That's how time frames work. But we're gonna get in our second session, when I get deeper, and I'll be explaining to you how time frames relate, you know, and how to catch entry points using time frames. Do you guys know that? How to listen to that carefully. How to get the best entry points using time frames. And I'll show you that. I'll show you guys that. Because people always ask, leadership, how do you always get these crazy entries? The secret is you need to always be spot on. You need to understand relationships, the time frame relationship. How do they actually relate? What happens from daily throughout to monthly, coming down to H4, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, till 1 minute. What is actually going on? In our second session, I'm going to explain that. Right now, I want to speak about how to actually look at a chart. The moment you open your chart, the first thing you need to do on your phone is zoom out. You zoom out because, why do you zoom out? You zoom out because you want to see what the market has been doing. For example, if I just got onto my chart now, H4 USD, right? And when I get into this chart, I zoom out and I find the chart moving, obviously something like this. You know? And on this side, so what happens on this side, normally on the chart, this is the price, what we call price. So on this side is the price of what? The euro. This is the euro. Before I continue, guys, when we speak about pairs, on a pair, right? On a currency pair, the first currency is the base, and then the second one is the code. You know, so the first currency is the base, and the second one is the code. And right here at the end here is the price. It's the value of the first currency to the second currency. That's what we have, guys. For those of you guys who can actually trade, please be patient with us. Please be patient with some of us who cannot trade. There's a lot of us. There's over 1,700 people. Over 1,700 people. Over 1,700 people on this live. And I don't think not everybody understands what forex trading is all about. So I'm trying to be as patient as I can. I'm trying to actually pick up a few important things. And for those who don't understand, please do actually come through in the DM and let me know what you don't understand. But I'm trying to accommodate those who know and those who don't know, those who are from scratch. So on a graph, the graph looks like this, and it starts moving from the highest point to the lowest point. The moment I zoomed out, I found that, okay, my euro USD, my euro to the USD, my base to the code, right? I said the first currency on a pair, the first one, the very first one is the base. The second one is the code. And right at the end of your chart right there is the price. So at the end there you'll find that maybe euro is whatever to the US dollar. Maybe the euro is 12 rand to the US dollar. Or maybe here it's 13 rand to the, here it's 14 rand to, here it's, this here is just the price, you know, the value of the base to the code. That's what's going on with the numbers you see there. And normally at the bottom right here is the date. The day that it happened and the day that it will happen. You understand? So here you get to know, okay, when the market came this low, when this market came this low, for example, when it was low, when it was here, what date was that? Then you get to know, okay, it was the 25th of August. Are we together, guys? I'm not trying to turn off the ring light. Let's see if the lighting is still the same. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. You guys can see it now. Yeah. Okay, let me just confirm with a thumbs up in the comments. Thumbs up, guys. I turned it off. Can I turn it off? Thumbs up. You guys can see? Thumbs up. See better, right? Why did you guys talk? Oh, got comments are off. Sorry. Yes, perfect. Okay. Turn off comments. Here we are, guys. So I spoke about what the first currency is to the second currency. That is the base to the code. Right here is the price, and at the bottom is the date it happened. I said I got onto my chart, and as I opened my MT4, right, and I zoomed out, I realized that, okay, EURUSD on a 4-hour time frame. Always go to big time frame, 4-hour daily, to see where the market comes from. You cannot trade something you do not know its history. So you need to go ahead and check, okay, what's been happening. That's what you're going on to bigger time frames, like your daily and your 4-hour. You want to see what's really been going on. So as you zoom out, the moment you zoom out, you get to see, okay, what's been happening for the past 3-4 months in EURUSD. So I've come into my chart, and my EURUSD says here that this chart has been moving for the past month, for example, whatever the case may be, has moved from the highest point to the lowest point. Let me I'm gonna draw it properly for you guys, so I'm able to actually add more drawings onto it. Let me just do this. I'm gonna draw it properly so you guys can actually see it nicely, and I'm able to add more. There we go. So EURUSD, for example, has moved like this for the past month. So I come into my zoom out and I look, okay, fine. What is the market down on EURUSD for the past month or 2 months? And I realize, okay, fine. It has moved from here to here. So what is possible from here? I need to find out, is it going to continue? Is it going to continue going down or change direction and start going up? That is the secret, right? But before you can start looking at whether the market is changing direction, before you can start looking at whether is the market going to change direction or not, you need to find the most important part of the market, and that's what we speak about: support and resistance. The simplest support and resistance that you can actually spot out our daily and H4, right? So you need to know, how did it travel? We can see it traveled from here to here, but the question is, how did it travel from here, this high, to this high, and what prices did it travel through? That's when we start using our support and resistance, or our highs and lows. On our second session into the tour, second and third, we're going to be speaking about things about lower lows, higher highs, the inner low of the previous high, the inner high of the previous low, those type of things, deeper methods. But obviously today we take it one step at a time. Biki mark me here. So I know that the market has moved from here to here. That's what I see. So I want to find out, how did it move from there? Therefore I go into my MT4, obviously. This is my MT4, but you're gonna go into yours. This is my MT4. I go in there, I realize, okay, I need to start highlighting the highest point. So I come here, take my horizontal line, and I put it right there. So what I always advise you to do is that when highlighting support and resistance, or putting trend lines, or whatever you use, highlight, always use a different color horizontal. So like now we're working on H4. I know that on my MT4, my H4 uses the green marker, the green horizontal, but this time around I'll say that it uses the orange horizontal on MT4. So when you highlight a support or resistance on 1 hour, make sure the color is not the same as the H4 support, so you are able to see on which time frame you picked out the support and the resistance. That's just trading smart. Okay? So for our H4 support and resistance, obviously this is H4. I'm gonna use my orange horizontal marker, obviously, just like that. I'm highlighting. What I'm highlighting? Because I want to see how the market traveled. I am highlighting the high points, right? Before I check out, I want to pick up all the highs. Here's the high point. Here's another high point. Another high point. You guys see? I picked out a second high point. Another high point right here. You guys see that? And I picked another high point. In fact, guys, I don't think you guys can see it nicely. So I'm going to continue using the black. But take my advice with what I said, okay? So I'm going to make that black. I'll make that black. But on a chart, make sure you make it a different color. A third high point I'm highlighting right there. So you can see when the market was traveling from this point till here, it was traveling, or it had created obviously 3 high points. What am I doing? These are actually the highs. I'm picking out these high points that I'm actually simply seeing on H4. Here I go. One more time, another one right there. It's just simplified. This is Forex simplified. The easiest things you have, the basic steps that you have to know about trading. You know, what am I doing? I'm actually highlighting my high points. Here's a high point right there. High point. So, unfortunately, you guys can't speak to me. But if you guys could speak, I was going to ask a question and say to you, what has happened right now as I was highlighting this high point? High point, high point, high point, high point, high point, high point. What has happened? What really happened as I was doing that? So the question is, sharp. So the question is, what happened was, as I was highlighting my high point, because the market moves with high, low, high, low, high, after. Like in life, when things go up, they come down. They go up, they come down. You can never find the chart moving like this, just flying down for 6 years. There's no low. It's just shooting down. That will never happen. You know? Every single field, every single company's got a scale. Even my life, I've got, if I was tradable, you could take me and put me in the industry, in the market, you know, I would have a graph of my life. Like when I was low, when I was down, when I was up, you know, that's just how, same thing with the USD. This is, the graph is used as a scale to make this pair tradable, you know? So why does the market go up and down? Because it's the nature of the industry. So it can't just travel down this way. When it goes up, it creates a high, coming down, it makes a low. So the biggest question is, what took place? What actually happened as I was highlighting these highs? Because these are highs. I'll put highs there. These are highs. High. High. These are all highs. Just extend that. These are all of them, they are highs. What actually happened? As I was highlighting the highs, automatically my horizontal line or my support or resistance line automatically took out the low. Look, when I highlighted this high point, it took out this low. Can you see that? So this is a low point, but this high point, when I put a horizontal, automatically it highlighted a low. So this is a low area. When I took out this high point earlier on, this one, it highlighted. When I took out this high point, it highlighted this low section. Can you see this one here? Just like that. It highlighted those section. So I found another low. I don't have to put a double resistant, because once you pick it, wherever there is a high, there's a low. That's just how it is. Wherever there's a high, there's a low. At every given chance, wherever there is a high, there will always be a low. So you need to always be intelligent. If you pick out a high, you cannot identify a low. There's something wrong. Because before high comes a low. Before low comes a high. Before wealth comes brokenness. It's just how life is. Okay guys, jokes aside, let me continue with work, okay? So let's go. When I picked out this high point, automatically it pulled out this low area. You guys see that one there? So that's just how it goes. I don't know if you guys can actually see it. I don't know if I can zoom in. Oh, there, I can zoom in. Just like that. So when I took out this high point, it took out that low. When I took out this high point here, it took out this low. Can you see that? On every high, there is a low. Here's a high, there is a low. So the first basic skill of being a technical trader is knowing that I must be able to identify how the graph of the market has traveled from one high to the low. So what I can tell you about this chart that I've done is that they say, tell me what's going on now. Tell me, It's not about making money. I don't want to take it. Just explain what the chart is. If I have to explain what is going on right here, I was saying I just opened euro USD on a 4-hour time frame, right? And when I look at it, I see that it's been traveling from a high point to a low point, and I'm trying to identify whether it is going to continue going down or start changing direction and start going up. But how do I do that? I need to pick out every technical move that this pair is made from its low point. Does it make sense? I mean, from its high point, from its high point. So what I've done is that I've highlighted all the highs and highlighted all the lows. So now I know what the pair has done technically to get to where it is. So the next question is, where to next? Wait for two things, right? It is either the market is going to continue going down and come back up and create a high, right? And then identifying the previous low, which will give us our new high. It's either the market will do that, come back up and respect this, right? Or resist on the previous low to create a new high. Then we continue selling to go down. So the question is, what do we do? Sorry guys, my data goes bad. So what do we do when the market goes down? Do we buy? No. There we go. Are we all good? All back? Okay, fine. Sorry guys, sorry about that. So what do we do? What do we do when the market goes down? Whenever the market is traveling downwards, whenever the market is going down, we sell. Whenever the market is climbing, it's a buy. So anything, think of it like this. Anything gaining value must be bought, and anything going down must be sold. If you have got a house and your house is depreciating, you have to sell it. If it's gaining value, then you have to keep it. Anything. And anything. So we buy low and sell high. So we buy right here, buy low and sell high. So on these highs, what would have happened on these highs here? I would have sold. Why? Because it was obviously buy low and sell high. So we sell on highs. These highs I've identified here, all these highs that I've identified, and they didn't identify them for pop and flays. They are being identified because these are our selling point. These are our selling point. These are our selling points. You guys understand that? On every single high, when the market travels down, as it creates a new high, coming back to the previous low, that gives you a resistance. That is a selling opportunity. It is creating a new high based on the previous low area, creating a support section, a resistant area, respecting that previous low, gives it a high, and then you can sell. That's what whenever I say add, in the channel when I say add trades, that is what is going on. It might be happening on a different channel. It could be happening on 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. But whenever I say add, just know a scenario like this is happening. That if you are selling, that means you're selling high. Same thing when the market is buying. It's just obviously here, I'm just making an example with a selling market. You understand? So guys, obviously, right now I've explained to you that we only sell high. Do not sell something at a low price. I cannot sell here. I cannot sell here. You cannot release a product that is cheapest. When something is cheap, you obtain it. When something is expensive, you sell it. That's just how business, trading is like running a business. In fact, traders can be the most powerful and the best business individuals because they know how the industry works. We sell any single, you see this marker? If this marker had a chart, right? I bought it for 2 rand. And if I ever want to sell it, I have to sell it for anything more than 2 rand. That is called selling high in business. But I bought it low. So since I bought it low, if I ever were to sell it, I have to sell it high. Or else I must keep possession of it. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense?